Welcome to a quick review of my current ship in my Ultimate Admiral Germany campaign. What we're looking at here is my Dreadnought 3. It has a 5 13-inch guns with dual barrels, then lots of 4-inch guns, and then lots of 3-inch guns in the turrets, and some 3-inch guns in the casemates. I had this design over the other one simply because I could not fill out all the casemates. That made me feel very insecure, made me feel I wasn't utilizing the ship's hull with maximum effect. But I think that this is quite a good compromise with having so much low caliber fire that any torpedo boat and destroyer that comes near it will take massive damage whilst the 13-inch guns are reloading. But once the 13-inch guns are reloading, you can bet they will do a lot of damage. The pitch is quite good. Pitch and roll will affect the accuracy of your guns. So always make sure the game will tell you if it's good or not. Yellow is, I don't know. But red is really bad. And this is quite close to getting a stabilized. It was far worse on the other ship that I made, the class before this one, the Dreadnought 2, I think it was. But let's keep going. It just cost a lot of money, 83 million to make and 5 million to maintain. It has induced boilers, turbines, prop armor 2, always the best armor, always induced boilers, always turbines on all my ships. I don't have anti-torpedoes, barbettes. Don't have a citadel either on any of my ships. So I've cut down cost that way. Anti-flooding though is very important to have. They all have enhanced reloading. That will make it a lot quicker to make. To keep giving fire, but it only has standard ammunition. But all ships have a heavy shell. And then we have 14.3-inch guns. That, along with the latest armor, will make it a very difficult ship to sink. They have long-range equipment and a radio. So that is my current ship in the main battleship line. I have other ships of earlier versions in the ongoing campaign, but as they get more and more obsolete, I think that we will either I will gather them up to the port and scuttle them to save the crews, or I will let them keep fighting until they die off. Haven't really decided yet on that part. So yeah, this is my main battleship. And the main difference between this one and the Aegir class is that this is a much, first of all, higher caliber guns. And a lot of lower caliber guns as well. It's a bit faster than the Aegir class. Aegir class is also crop 1. Unlike this current ship that I have, that is crop 2. And I'm first thought of making this König Albert class as a replacement to this Veteran class. I mean the Aegir class, when the Dreadnought 3 was first available, I tried to make a big gunship, but I didn't manage to fill out all the casemates. So I felt like, well, then maybe lower caliber. So immediately after the first video, I made another one, and then I made this ship with lower caliber guns. So should sink everything smaller very fast. Anyway, the light cruiser is a quite simple ship to explain. Its job is to deal with enemy destroyers and enemy light cruisers. So it doesn't have to have a massive weaponry. You have 3-inch guns in both the casemates and some 3-inch guns here on top, with 7-inch guns on both sides of it. And that's the ship. 24 miles per hour. Again, induced and turbines and the best armor available. And enhanced reloading and more shells. Now this heavy cruiser is like an early battleship in terms of its tonnage now. It has 13,500 tons. It cost almost 32 million to make, about 2 million to maintain. It has an 11-inch gun, so it can match the firepower of battleships, a 10-inch gun, and a 9-pounder, with lots of 3-pounders and to ward off lighter ships, and 5-pounders of the latest caliber, the Mark III. 25 knots per hour. I'm hoping that this ship will be able to catch early destroyers and just keep up a good solid long range fire when the enemy tries to flee. 13.4-inch guns in terms of armor. This is a quite formidable ship. And then in terms of destroyers, I think that this destroyer is the best one of these two that I made. A 5 caliber here, just like every other version I have. Torpedo right here to get it off quickly. Then a 4-inch gun in the center with a 5-inch, 4-inch, and a 3-inch here in the rear. The 3-inch can shoot any ships that comes here if they're faster than me, which is unlikely since I have 34 knots per hour. But if they do, they will also face the wrath of the 3-pounder, 4-pounder, and the 5-pounder will allow the destroyer to keep its distance from the enemy lighter guns and still contribute to the main battle. But destroyers are mostly for reconnaissance. I have the heavy cruiser as a way to add big firepower, but at a more financial benefit, as the main battleships, though extremely good, may be too expensive for me to have everywhere. So I'm hoping the heavy cruisers can do its job, and then dodging the torpedoes with superior speed. That would come to that. So that's a very quick summary of all the ships that I have. The pitch and roll on this destroyer is not perfect, but it's still better than the earlier version that I had. So that's still an improvement. And once I get a better hull to use in the destroyers, then I will do so. But for now, this is what I have to work with. So I hope that you enjoyed this very small video. Hope you enjoyed.